Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to my special show, Resilience in the Time of Coronavirus. Oh my God, I've been saying the word Corona for long enough that I feel like, okay, fine. This is the only word that I have in my vocabulary now.
Yep.
Exactly. We're working from home. Everyone, myself and people that I connect with around the world, everyone almost is working from home, regardless of the location or the city where they are. We're being put into a gigantic test. Everyone is going through it, but hopefully very soon we'll get over it. Today's guest is Noor Salama. Noor is leading the community at MAGNiTT. MAGNiTT is MENA's most comprehensive startup data platform. She works to connect the region's tech startups to everything and everyone. Capital, talent, exposure, name it. Prior to that, she led the PR and communication at Algebra Ventures, the largest venture capital fund in Egypt. Noor, good to have you in my podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. As we were talking, for quite a bit in the waiting room, you mentioned that you're working from home full time now, but you were one of those that started early on, to take the measures for remote work. So tell me about it, please.
Yeah, I mean, our CEO and our team, we pulled the trigger on work from home 2 weeks ago. We started last Sunday, not this one, the one before. And it was a decision of making sure that our people stay safe. And also because we are a tech startup and we facilitate everything online on the MAGNiTT platform, it kind of made sense that we should be able to do as much, if not more, from home.
Excellent. I guess it's not really an odd scenario for you guys because you work in the tech industry in a way and you're connected with multiple number of startups. So it was more of a plug and play, or you found it difficult to just shift from office to home?
So actually, in terms of work, you need to be very careful to make sure that you're aligned with your team and that you're still communicating as much as you can on work stuff and on social stuff, so you're still maintaining those team dynamics and working towards the same goals. I found it a little bit difficult because I like the social aspects of work, but I think that as a team, people really show up, right? When they believe in what they're doing. These challenges are just especially in startups, these challenges are just another opportunity to find creative ways to hack the problem. And I think that's what really appeals to people.
Very good. I like that. I like that these challenges are actually opportunities if you look at it from the right angle, which is very important message that you shared now. But for you to be able to connect with your customers, with the startup organizations, with your colleagues and team and so on, you must be using some technology, a platform of which that connect you. So what tools do you have?
طبعا. So we were always connecting with people across the 17 MENA countries, but a lot of our work already had to be done over emails and over calls. Our best friend now, of course, is Slack. Google Hangouts is a fantastic software that everybody can use. We're also using Zoom. We're using different kinds of teleconferencing options. And we're very grateful that now they're working.
Yep, that's wonderful. Given my age, I just envision if I go back in time 23 years ago, or maybe more than that, where the internet was there still, but platforms like that was not really existing. What would be the case? It would be awful kind of experience.
Would have been on the phone.
Yeah, on the phone. But I go way back to the, the dial and so on. So
house phone.
All right, but keeping positive. I like your vibes. Since we started talking, I understand that you're keeping a high spirit and so on. So how do you do that?
We're trying to.
How do you do that?
I think it's very, very important to maintain a routine. And this is the most important piece of advice that I've gotten so far. And I got it from Philip, our CEO, about working from home, because I'm very extroverted and I like working with people and speaking to people all the time. The most important thing is to get dressed for work, put on shoes. And what we have as a team is we've got a 9:30 meeting for everybody on the team. It's an all hands meeting where your video has to be on. So if you had been considering taking that call, maybe from your bed or from your pajamas, you will rethink that option. And also, I'm still trying to find ways, and the team as well, we're all trying to find ways to schedule a virtual coffee, just to hang out with your colleagues, not necessarily in like a meeting format, but just as a way to connect with people. socially, you know, just let's grab a coffee.
So we're keeping physical distance, but nevertheless, we're staying social.
Yeah, and we're trying to. And another issue that I think people will be facing, especially when they really believe in what they're doing and they're really like active, is it's harder to switch off at home. So you'll find your hours getting longer and no breaks.
Exactly, exactly. See, remote work for me is not a new thing, right? I've been always on a remote basis, given the companies that I've worked for. International organizations are very acquainted with these kind of
Yes.
circumstances, so they have their workforce as plug and play, as they say. But when it comes to working hours, you may end up being 24-hour working if you're not paying attention to that. And this is a great.
And not taking breaks and not taking lunch.
Exactly. But some of the organizations, you see, your organization, MAGNiTT, wonderful organization, being ready, which is, I love that. But if you look at some other organizations around the world, that even in our region in here, they were not really anticipating that kind of change. But I believe once this is all over, they may go back to their old habits of 9 to 5, traditional punch in, punch out, and so on. What's your advice for these companies?
So I think that a lot of companies have been speaking about digital transformation for a very long time, for the last 3 or 4 years, and now suddenly have to put their money where their mouth is. And we're discovering who was prepared for so-called digital transformation, because it's not an option anymore, right? You either figure out how you're working from home or you shut down. I mean, there's no, at this point, really, there's nothing else that we can be doing. I think that, and I was speaking to somebody else, Bassel Muftah, on a webinar the other day, and he said that something fundamental has changed in the fabric of society. I don't think we will be able to go back to the way we were before. I think something has, in terms of how we work, yani. But I do think that a new normal will emerge. I don't think this is just a temporary change and shift in how we work. I think this will bleed out for a lot of industries. The ones I'm most concerned about are perhaps larger organizations that were not equipped for this exact moment in time, and who suddenly now have to figure out how they're going to do it.
I totally agree with you. See, the point is that I guess personally, comes the time and we'll have that sort of the time before coronavirus and the time after coronavirus.
Exactly.
Individual governments, organizations be it. Well, Noor, thank you so much for sharing your insights. It's awesome and wonderful. Everyone will love it. I'm quite confident about that. And I look forward to have you in my next broadcast as well.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yalla.